including charges that he once had ties to organized crime. Mark Shearer looks at both sides in this profile.
He calls himself the General and sometimes dresses like one. His real name is Larry Curtis Johnson, but back in the 70s, trying to make it as a musician, he began calling himself Maurice Starr. Making other people stars is now the General's mission.
Some things take off a little bit quicker than others, but I think, you know, if you stick to anything, I think eventually it's going to happen. And it's been happening for me.
It started happening in 1983 when New Edition took off. Starr had discovered them, written and produced their music. So it hurt when suddenly he was relieved of his command. New Edition dumped Starr. His counterattack was triggered by an over-the-counter observation.
I noticed that the merchandise for New Edition wasn't really selling to white kids, but it was selling to black. So I figured the ultimate would be a teen white act. And that's when I came up with the idea of New Kids on the Block. I figured it would take, if they would have success from day one, then it would take up to 6 years. But it only took like 2.5 years of amazing success. You know, success comes in many shapes and colors in many ways.
And with success sometimes comes trouble. A bankrupt Boston businessman and a partner with alleged ties to organized crime claimed Starr borrowed $175,000 in exchange for 50% interest in New Kids on the Block.
The guy claims that I shook his hand, didn't sign no paper. He's a business entrepreneur from Harvard, but I shook his hand, and he gave me, I think, $100,000 or whatever he said, and I gave him 50% of New Kids. And he didn't get it in writing. The allegations are very untrue. And why would these guys go bankrupt, then call me and say, I want my money? I'm not that crazy not to pay the bond. I wouldn't be here right now.
The case continues to unfold in a federal bankruptcy court. In the meantime, Starr campaigns on the teen idol front, finding what he hopes will be his next New Kids in his own backyard. His son, Maurice Jr., teams with 2 other youngsters in Perfect Gentlemen.
He'd been asking me for years if I want to be in a group, and I always said no. Then, that year, I just suddenly clicked. I just said yes.
To those critics who say Maurice Starr pulls all the strings behind marginally talented, cute young faces, another of his protégés, 17-year-old Rick West, says,
I think because I'm new at what I'm doing, you know, a lot of his advice is the right stuff to do.
The writer and producer of all his acts' music, Starr can't resist a cameo in a Rick West music video.
I believe I can make you a star.
And Starr has his own answer to those who call him a manipulator, a latter-day Svengali.
Well, in some terms, I think they're right. In other ways, I think they need to really look at the talent of these, you know, these young individuals, because they're pulling it off. I mean, I'm not on the stage with them.
Maurice Starr, the General, marches on. His objective in sight, to win the hearts and minds of America's young music fans. Mark Shearer, CNN Entertainment News.